delivery. Hopefully you pick D, day of policy delivery. But here's things that have to happen on policy delivery. The agent always delivers the policy, has to have Jane sign a statement of good health stating her health hadn't changed. And the agent has to collect at least the first month's premium, and that's when coverage goes into effect. All right, I got more for you here. Another timeline. Here we go. January 5th, Jane completes the application, pays her initial premium. Bond gives her a conditional receipt. 2 days later, he turns the application into the insurance company. A week later, Jane has a paramedical exam where a nurse comes out, draws her blood. Now, the results of this paramedical exam showed Jane had nicotine in her system. But evidently, Jane likes to smoke a little bit. On her application, Jane said she was a non-smoker, but evidently, she likes to smoke pipes. All right, let's stop right there. Is the insurance company just going to decline Jane altogether because she's a smoker right now? Well, no. What they're going to do is they're going to rate her up. We'll talk more about that later on. So let's start over with our timeline. Jane paid her premium. Bond gave her a conditional receipt. 2 days later, he turns the application into the insurance company. A week later, Jane has her paramedical exam. Nurse comes out, draws her blood. Remember, the results show that Jane had nicotine in her system. Jane is a pipe smoker. She doesn't really like cigarettes, I guess. A week later, they issue her policy. A week later, Bond delivers her policy. Now, what's the effective date of coverage going to be this time? Your options are for the effective date, either going to be A, date of medical exam, B, date of policy approval, C, date of application, or D, date of policy delivery. What do you think? Hopefully you pick D, date of policy delivery. And here's the things that have to happen. Remember, the agent always delivers the policy, has to have Jane sign a statement of good health, has to have Jane sign the amendment saying, okay, I agree to pay more money, and then collect that extra money. And that's when the coverage goes into effect. So that is your conditional receipt. Only get it to insurance